The historic relationship between Turkey and Bangladesh is very deep. Especially in the last couple of years, this relationship has reached to a new height. After the 2017 Rohingya influx, Turkish First Lady was the first international responder to this crisis. And in 2016, after the failed military coup in Turkey, Bangladesh also supported the Muslim state. Now we are going to talk Turkish envoy in Bangladesh, Mustafa Osman Turan, about the bilateral ties between these two Muslim states. Excellency Mustafa Osman Turan, thank you very much for your time. Both nations are passing through a very amicable and friendly ties. And you are also working after coming here to boost these bilateral relationships. What's your assessment about the latest diplomatic ties between these two Muslim states?
I also would like to thank you for inviting me to join your program. I am here for the last 3 years. When I arrived in Bangladesh, our bilateral relations were based on solid foundation of our shared history, shared culture, values, and religion. And that has made my life very easy here because, as you said, there is a lot of sympathy towards my country, Turkey. In Bangladesh, we don't feel like a foreign diplomat here. We are feeling like home. So in my tenure of 3 years, we have had the COVID times, which made our lives very difficult here. But thanks to the measures taken by the Bangladeshi government, we have overcome those issues of COVID, and we were able to make some progress.
You know that Bangladesh is, though inside it's a very small country, but here in Bangladesh we have nearly 170 million people. In terms of population, this is a big nation, and Turkey was the top list for Bangladeshis to visit Turkey. Not only for Bangladesh but also other countries, people like to visit Turkey, especially Istanbul. Why people are so enthusiastic to visit Turkey?
As I said, we have shared history, culture, religion, and whoever goes to Istanbul or any part of my country, Turkey, they also feel like home. And they are also attracted by our historical, cultural, and landscape attractions through the Turkish drama series in Bangladesh, which are very popular. And in the past year, after my country has been open to tourists, many Bangladeshis went to Turkey for discovering my country, both for tourism but also medical tourism, cultural exchanges, and business opportunities. So that's why I think Turkey has become very popular here.
After watching this type of historic mega serials, they are becoming interesting to visit Turkey. How do you feel it?
Oh, absolutely. Cultural aspect is very important, and people know that in Bangladesh, the times before the Mughal times, or even during Mughal times, there have been a lot of historical monuments, from the Turkish side, and those shared cultural elements are felt by the Bangladeshi people. And when they go to Turkey, they also see that how the Ottoman Empire governed a vast piece of land in the world, and they feel that affinity. And today, our president, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, is very much respected, and also he's taken as a leader of the Muslim world. So also people feel that what President Erdogan stands for, justice and humanitarian assistance and peace, it's very much liked by the people of Bangladesh. Just like Atatürk is a great historical figure in Bangladesh during the times of colonial rule in Bangladesh, in India. Just like Atatürk, today our president is also very much of a respected international figure. in Bangladesh.
Both countries have a very good relationships, and people are expecting that there are some sectors which arena can be included to boost the bilateral relationship between these two countries.
Yes, actually our trade has already passed the 1 billion threshold. It's now close to 1.5 billion dollars a year. This is the trade volume, which is quite balanced. We buy a lot of jute from Bangladesh. We use it for carpet industry. Half of our volume is coming from Bangladesh, mainly jute products and pharmaceuticals also. And we are selling many, for the ready-made garment industry, textile. We are selling many machineries for the factories in Bangladesh, chemicals, cotton, but these are traditional items of trade. We want to diversify these items. We want to look into possibilities of trade and investment in the fields of ICT, for example. Bangladesh is making great headways. We can also improve our trade and investment in the field of pharmaceuticals, shipping industry, agro industry. We can look into light engineering, leather products. So there are many areas where we can explore partnerships and opportunities both in trade and investments, and that's why we would like to convene our joint economic commission meeting in Dhaka very soon. I recently met the Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, and she has committed that this joint economic commission will be convened very soon in Dhaka.
Turkey is now one of the top-ranking countries in construction site, especially just after China. So Turkey has a huge scope to work here in construction site.
Our foreign minister was in Bangladesh in December 2020. He inaugurated our new embassy compound, which is constructed by a Turkish contracting company, designed by a Turkish architectural company. So our embassy compound is a symbol of what our architectural and contracting companies can do. Everybody admires our new embassy building in Bangladesh, in Dhaka. It's in a very prestigious address as well. So out of 250 best contracting companies in the world, 45 of them are from Turkey. And that's what I've been telling to my Bangladeshi counterparts, because Bangladesh is investing a lot in the infrastructure projects. So far, there was no Turkish company working in Bangladesh in the construction sector. There was just one who built a pipeline, but very recently, about 2-3 weeks ago, a Turkish company won for the first time a contract to construct a portion of the Dhaka-Sylhet highway, about 14 kilometers. So this is the beginning, and we are hoping that other Turkish contracting companies will also come in the very near future. We are planning to sign a government-to-government agreement on public-private partnership, PPP projects in Bangladesh. This agreement will pave the way for a closer cooperation.
People have huge interest to know about the defense cooperation between Turkey and Bangladesh. There is a deal also. What type of benefit Bangladesh can get, and which type of equipment Bangladesh can buy from Turkey to strengthen its defense sector?
Yes. This is another area where we have made big progress in the last 3 years during my stay here. We were already cooperating with Bangladesh in terms of military-to-military cooperation. We have trained almost 3,000 Bangladeshi officers in Turkey. Whenever I go to an army headquarters or navy headquarters or air force headquarters, Bangladeshi officer comes to me and speaks in Turkish. That shows the number of and the scale of training we have provided to Bangladesh. And in recent years, Bangladesh has started to procure some military hardware, weapon systems from my country. In Turkey, you know that we have made big progress in our defense industry, and Bangladesh also knows this. They started to procure first armored vehicles for the peacekeeping troops of Bangladesh. Then they procured multi-launch rocket systems, MLRS, and they are demonstrated during the Victory Parade. I was present recently. And most recently, we have also uh, managed to sign 4 significant contracts. And one of them was the Turkish drones, Bangladesh procured. And this cooperation will continue in the future. Currently, there is a foreign exchange, shortage in many countries, including Bangladesh. So we have slowed down our defense industry cooperation, but as soon as Bangladesh is back into its strong economy, it will restart even more than before. And we are hoping that Navy and Air Force of Bangladesh will also, just like the Army, they will also increase their cooperation with my country.
Ambassador, you know that in terms of bilateral relationships or diplomatic relationships between two nations, there are ups and downs, and it's very natural. So, is there any issues you feel that should be improved in fixing these ups and downs between Turkey and Bangladesh?
No, there are no more issues. It's just natural that, two close countries and their leaders, they are always in solidarity. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina showed this solidarity just immediately after the military coup attempt in 2016 in my country. She was one of the first leaders to show solidarity. And before that, there may be some disagreements on some issues, but these have been completely left behind us. It's just natural that we move forward. And First Lady was here in 2000. First Lady, Madam Emine Erdogan, was in Bangladesh in 2017 to support the government of Bangladesh, and it was very well appreciated.
During the Rohingya influx in this country.
Yes, yes. She was one of the first to visit Bangladesh. She raised the level of this question on the international arena. So today we are enjoying our relations at an excellent level. As I said, our trade is booming, tourism is booming. I have just recently met both the Honorable Prime Minister and Honorable President of Bangladesh, that they are very happy with the way our bilateral relations are going. They are asking for more trade and investment, which we also agree. And in the coming period, I think our bilateral relations will be very exemplary.
This Rohingya issue seemingly hanging in balance, and there is no sign of immediate peaceful and dignified repatriation. Do you think that the world should play more active role for dignified and peaceful Rohingya repatriation?
Yes, they should, and we should all together. We are doing our best to support Bangladesh and in every way possible, both diplomatically in international organizations such as the UN, OIC. Turkey is always side by side with Bangladesh, bringing this matter to the attention of the international community. But other countries, obviously, sometimes they are also giving priorities to some other crisis around the world, be it Ukraine or Africa and elsewhere. Obviously, Rohingya issue is one of the worst situations for refugees, for Rohingyas, because, as you said, they are considered stateless in their home country, Myanmar, which is a great violation of human rights because they have been living there for centuries. They are indigenous to Myanmar. So it's very unfortunate that there is no progress so far to repatriate the Rohingyas back to Myanmar, but we believe that this is the real solution to this issue. and we need to work with the government of Myanmar and explain and convince them that their own people, Rohingyas, must return back to their own country because it's not sustainable to keep them in Bangladesh, for Bangladesh, but also for the international community. So we need to put more pressure on Myanmar.
And Bangladesh is also warning the global leaders several times that if this issue prolongs long and there is no sustainable repatriation, dissatisfaction may be rising among these people, and it may lure them to the militants or other criminal activities, and that will threat the whole global peace.
Yes, these kind of risks exist in any refugee situation. Refugees should have a hope that one day they will go back home. Currently, unfortunately, for Rohingyas, that hope is very slim, very weak hope. Therefore, we need to reinforce that hope for them. Work together towards that objective. But also there is, of course, a necessity to provide the Rohingyas in Cox's Bazar or in Bashanchar Island to be able to have their own livelihoods. They should not be dependent on the assistance handouts to Rohingyas only. They should be able to live their own life, earn their own life by working, and this should be made possible. And another issue is education. Their children, to have hope for the future, they should get some education in their own language or in English. We know that the government of Bangladesh is flexible on providing education in English. So our agencies also on the ground are working in that field.
You have visited many parts of this country. You have mixed many people of different ages and different forums and different professions. So what's your feeling about this country?
Bangladesh is a country where foreigners are welcome warmly and sincerely. That's what I like most about Bangladesh. Whenever you meet someone, after a few exchanges of nice talk, they immediately invite you to their homes to share food, conversation. And I like this concept of adda, which is long conversations over lunch or dinner and go deeper into matters of life, friendship and politics, economy. So I really enjoyed my stay here. It's deep and long conversation. It is called adda in Bangla. That's how I interpret it. And we had some addas at the embassy also. For example, in last International Women's Day in 2022, we had an adda and dinner, an art exhibition, and many very prominent opinion leaders, women and men alike, came to our embassy to have an adda and dinner together. So culture, art, literature, very significant in Bangladesh and very enjoyable. I'm looking forward to Dhaka Lit Fest in a few days. It's going to start. During COVID, we couldn't have it. Now I will really enjoy listening to many writers, opinion leaders. And this year it's not just literature, but also science and art included.
People have huge interest to Turkish language here. Do you have any plan to set up formal facilities so that people can learn in a formal way more Turkish language here in Bangladesh?
Since I came, I've been working on creating a cultural center in Dhaka. Because of COVID, we could not make much progress, but I think my successor will continue those efforts. We have, as you know, Yunus Emre cultural centers around the world. Yunus Emre is a great poet and Sufi mystic in Anatolia. So our cultural centers are named after Yunus Emre. He's a bit like Rumi. So I think that would be great if we have a Yunus Emre Cultural Center in Dhaka, which provides Turkish language training, but also organizes some cultural events to bring our countries together and closer.
So people-to-people connectivity will be strengthened through these initiatives, I think.
Yes. And Bangladesh can also open a cultural institute in Ankara or in Istanbul. I proposed this to the Prime Minister, and she warmly welcomed this proposal. And I'm hoping that in the coming period, this will be one of the significant projects between our countries to increase people-to-people contacts.
There is an initiative about business forum, joint business forum between Bangladesh and Turkey. What about the latest update of this forum?
This year, in January 17th, we will formally constitute and legally constitute this business forum. It will be a trust bringing together now 13 large businesses into the forum. Recently, 2 more additions have been made, and they will also become a member of the founding board of the business forum, Bangladesh-Turkey Business Forum. And we are hoping that they will be very instrumental in developing our economic and trade relations, investments between our countries further in the coming period, because these are very strong companies. And I will be happy to host that launch event at the embassy, and there you will see they will explain their ideas, what they would like to do. It will not be only trade and investments, but also cultural activities as well, to rebrand Bangladesh in Turkey and rebrand Turkey in Bangladesh.
Huge number of students are already in Turkey for their higher studies, and just some days back I met a teacher of Dhaka University who has completed his PhD degree from Turkey, and he said that the hospitality of Turkish people is very appreciable, and he still misses those fantastic days in Turkey. So this is a very good virtue of Turkish people that attracted Bangladeshi nationals hugely.
I think we are very similar in our hospitality. Yes, my country is a hospitable country for foreigners, but as I said, Bangladesh is the same. Maybe we are competing in hospitality with each other. I will leave as an ambassador very soon from Bangladesh, but I will come back as a friend of Bangladesh. And when I serve in other countries or in my country, I will always continue to promote our bilateral relations in many different fields. Through my friends and my colleagues, we have to bring these two countries together even more, because they have a bright future in the coming period to become role models for the rest of their region, also the Muslim world.
Just in this point, so both Muslim nations, Bangladesh and Turkey, have some scope to work for the world peace and for the whole world.
Yes, exactly, because Bangladesh is the country which provides the highest contribution for the peacekeeping operations of the United Nations. Similarly, Turkey is a country which follows Atatürk's dictum, says peace at home, peace in the world. And Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman said, friendship to all, malice to none. So based on the founding fathers, philosophy of peace, both countries are making big contributions in today's world where peace is very much needed. I hope that Bangladesh will take new initiatives in South Asia for regional cooperation and peace and stability also. I think it can become a very instrumental country in this region. We also have our Asia Anew policy in Asia, and Bangladesh is a key actor in our policy to promote peace and stability in Asia.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.